Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are listening from. My name is Linda Terjesen. Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are listening from. My name is Linda Terjesen, and my company name is LTLTE. It stands for Learn to Love to Exercise. And I'm coming to you live today from Dana Point, SoCal. Let me know where you are tuning in from. And want to talk today about stress because a lot of us are stressed out nowadays, especially with COVID and everything that's going on with that. So, would love to get feedback from you during this live to see where you're at with your stress level, any tips, anything that you have that is different from what I'm going to cover today. So, welcome everyone. Super happy to be here with y'all. And my hair is flat, but that's okay. um, so, what I want to cover is I want to talk about stress, and there's always going to be stress in our lives, right? We always have more work to do. There's never enough hours in the day. There is always another task to finish, and we can always find more reasons to work. Do you agree with this? Please let me know. As entrepreneurs, especially, the days never seem to end. There's always something else to do. We can always find a reason or maybe an excuse to keep on working. So sometimes this actually gets a little bit addictive. And if you really love what you do, like I do, then it's even harder because you are so passionate about working and with serving your clients that you just keep on, keep on, keep on. But it's important to find balance in all of this. So I listened to Jeff Bezos recently, and he was talking about stress, and he was talking about not just finding the balance, but actually also finding harmony. And I thought that was very interesting. And what he mentioned and what somebody else has mentioned too is that stress oftentimes come from something that we know that we should take action on, but we're actually ignoring it. So we're not helping ourselves because we are ignoring what we should be taking action on. And if we worry a lot, then obviously that causes stress as well. Hey Marie, thanks for tuning in. Let me know where you ladies are watching from today. So if we can identify the stress, and if we can start addressing it, be more aware, really think about what is it that's bothering me that I haven't taken action on. And it's always good to write a list, and whether you have that list on paper or if you have it on your phone, whichever, but there's always a lot of stuff popping up and it's hard to keep track of it all. So again, stress comes from not taking action on something that you are in control of, because ultimately we are all 100% responsible for our own actions, our thoughts, our emotions, and what we choose to do. We all have a choice. So if you choose not to take action on something and you keep procrastinating and keep delaying, then you know that that is ultimately not going to help you. Hey Marie, she's in Atlanta. I used to live in Atlanta. So there is the whole fight or flight response, right, with the stress hormones. And we keep pushing harder and harder and harder. There are more demands and we keep pushing. What happens then is we're actually not even living in the present. Now, when you feel like you have a lot of stress, when you feel like you have a lot of work to do, let me ask you, do you feel like you are living in the present? Do you feel like there is balance? Do you feel a sense of calmness, a sense of harmony? Or how do you feel when you always are pushing forward with work? I would love to know if you can let me know in the comments. And all of these long-term effects, it's toxins. It's toxins that build up inside of us, and we can only push so hard, right? Because ultimately we are going to lead to burnout. We're going to hit that wall head on because we keep pushing. So we're going to get burned out. And when that happens is we may get irritable, we may get anger. I would love to know if you have these symptoms or if there's other ones that I'm not mentioning. But you may also become insensitive to like your family, to your friends, maybe even to your pets, to other stuff that's going on because you're so focused on your business. Your business is everything. And that's why a lot of times the health gets on the back burner because you are focused on your business. So there's hyperactivity that keeps coming up. There's aggressiveness. We get impatient. And I know I found myself in numerous different ways when I get stressed out. I will get irritated. I'll get frustrated mainly with myself. And I'm doing this to myself. Why do we do this to ourselves? As women especially, we are always so hard on ourselves. We're not kind and gentle and nice to ourselves. We are tough on ourselves. But when you keep doing all this, when you get stressed out, what do you turn to? I would love to know, what do you turn to when you are stressed? Do you turn to a glass of wine in the evening? Do you turn to more caffeine, more coffee? Do you go for a walk, or do you end up sleeping in? Do you have trouble sleeping maybe because there's so much going on? Maybe you have to use sleeping pills because you're not able to sleep through the night. And all of this stuff turns out that we end up with a lot of fatigue, right? We get tired more so emotionally than physically. It's sort of like if we have an event that happens in our life, something that's not very pleasant, that we are just drained. And I was there recently when my uncle passed away, and I just felt really sad, and I just felt drained for several days because I couldn't keep thinking about it. And when you have that kind of fatigue, and that also comes with stress, it leads to anxiety. Again, you get irritable. And then we also come up with these self-doubt messages that we wonder, hey, can I really do this? Am I really cut out for this? Now, what do you ask yourself? Let me know in the comments. What do you ask yourself when you are stressed out, when that self-doubt comes creeping up? What do you do? And also, what can happen with the stress is we can get a lot of distractions. Now, for me, when I work on a project, I turn my phone upside down, right? So I have my phone upside down, and I turn off everything else so I don't have a bunch of notifications and ringing and stuff coming in, because the more we have that and the more we get distracted, the more stressed we're going to be. And all of these little distractions, if we get pulled away, it takes on average 17 minutes to get back to the task that we were originally working on. And you can get distracted just with having someone else in the house and them talking to you, which is super hard now because with COVID, most everybody's working from home. So maybe you're not used to having your husband there or your children there, and now everybody's at home and everybody's demanding your time, your attention, and coming at you. Hi, Kristen. Thanks for tuning in. So let me know if things have changed for you. How have they changed with COVID? Do you have more people in the house than you used to? Or are you able to go into a room and close the door and focus on your work and not having everyone distract you? So the distractions, it's key to try to really minimize those distractions. And obviously, we can't work into the night when other people are sleeping, because then it's going to disrupt our whole sleeping pattern. So in order to keep a somewhat regular schedule, and still be able to work quietly, it can be challenging. Hi, Haley. Thanks for saying hello. Please say hello as you're listening here. And another thing with fatigue, what it can turn into is with the self-doubt, with the distractions, with the lack of concentration, we can have a lot of negative emotions pop up. Those negative emotions, what can they be? They can be anger, they can be frustration. And again, most of the time when we get angry, we get frustrated, we're actually angry and frustrated with ourselves. It's not with someone else. We may say that it is, but usually it's with ourselves. Hey, Tiana, thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. Or I can't really see you, but you can see me. So all of these stressors, of course, they bring our heart rate up. And if you have a lot of stress, it can impact your blood pressure, and you can end up with heart disease. And in the worst case, you can actually end up dying from heart disease. Now, I'm not saying any of this to scare you, but I know several high-level executives and entrepreneurs and stuff that have gotten to such a point that they have actually suffered a heart attack and passed away. One of those people was my brother. He passed away from a sudden heart attack when he was only 45 years old. He was an entrepreneur. He had his own business. He was working hard. He was in construction. When he wasn't working hard for a client, then he was working hard on his own home. So he was always working. He always had stuff going on. And all of that stress ultimately led him to having a heart attack. So be very aware and be careful with the stress, because stress is a killer. And I'm sure you've heard this before. And if you don't know what your blood pressure is on average, I would definitely go get it checked. You can go get it checked in a pharmacy. You can buy one of the heart monitor devices and do it yourself at home, or you can go to the doctor. But I recommend that you know on average what your blood pressure is, because I know for myself, when I've had a lot of stress at work, then the heart pressure, the blood pressure goes up. And when I can practice being more calm, having more balance, having more harmony, then everything evens out. And this is whether or not you have heart disease in your family. So keep that in mind. It's super important. Also, what we tend to do when we get really stressed out is we don't take care of ourselves as far as eating. We may even lose our appetite. Has this happened to you? Have you lost your appetite because you have been working too much? Or have you maybe not taken time to make meals because you have had too much work and you have no time to make anything to eat? Hi, Emily. Thanks for tuning in. So Tihana says it's so true. Usually others trigger my reaction, but the actual source is my own frustration with myself. Yeah, exactly, Tihana. That's what it is. You know, we may blame others, but ultimately it comes down to us. And it comes down to how we react to the stress, or how we choose to react. So there's a lot of emotional instability with stress. There's loss of motivation. And sometimes I hear people say, oh, you know, I'm just not motivated to exercise. Maybe it's not even that you're not motivated to exercise. Maybe you're just not motivated on average, like overall, because you are so stressed out with your business. So really think about when the stress hits you, when the shit hits the fan, then how do you handle it and what do you say to yourself? Because now with COVID, of course, the immune system, being healthy, staying healthy, all of that is super important. And so is reducing stress, because stress can turn into so many other factors. We can have headaches. It can affect our posture. It can affect our back, our lower back. and like I mentioned, the heart attacks and the high blood pressure. So really, how you can work on relieving stress, I want to talk a little bit about that. And another interesting tidbit is that, and I would love for you all to guess, what country, before I reveal, what country do you think works the most hours in a week in the world? What country do you think works the most hours in a week? I would love to hear what your guesses are. And no Googling allowed, and then I will share with you as I see some comments come in here. So, how to relieve stress? How can we relieve it? There's a lot of different ways. Of course, there's the ways that we have heard about a lot of different times. It's yes, we can exercise. Yes, we can go for a walk. Any activity like that is going to help reduce stress significantly. And also meditating. If you haven't heard of that, and you probably have, because meditating has gotten to be like very, very popular, and meditating can really help us reduce stress. So Tihana says Japan, Kristen says the US. Let me know what else, what other guesses do I have as far as what country works the most in the world in a week. So also reducing the stress, the meditation is super helpful. It is not easy, and you don't actually have to do it for long. You can start with as little as 1 minute, and that's how I started. I started with 1 minute, and I have a recording of ocean waves, which is my favorite sound to listen to, and I listened to that for 1 minute, and it really helps me relax. And then I have another one. Then I went from 1 minute up to 5 minutes, and I was able to do the 5 minutes. And then I was like, yay, what is next? Maybe I will go for 15. So then what I did is I went to 15 minutes, and I did a guided meditation. And I do those every day, and it really, really helps. So Taki says India. Kristen says US. Tihana says Japan. Let me know if there's any other guesses there. So a big thing too is with the meditation is to practice gratitude, being grateful. The more you can be grateful just for the little things that, hey, I had an extra glass of water today. Cheers. Or maybe you got up 15 minutes earlier. Maybe you put on your favorite top and it made you feel really good. Maybe you were able to get a haircut and that felt really good. So think about just even the little things that you can be grateful for, because when we think about gratefulness and gratitude, it just makes us feel better. So if you don't ever do that, I highly recommend that you work in some gratitude in your day. I do it every day. I have a journal. I have several journals. My favorite one is this. It's a blue one. It's called the Self Journal. It's by Best Self, and I write out everything that I'm doing here on my day. This morning, I am grateful for. Tonight, I am grateful for. So I love writing those things out because it makes me feel good. All right, I guess I don't have any more guesses as far as the country that works the most in a week. Tihana had a good guess with Japan, which was what I would have guessed. But Kristen is correct. It is the United States. They are the ones who work the most hours in a week out of any country. And I was surprised because I definitely thought it was Japan, but it is the United States. So a lot of people hustle, 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 hustle all the time. But with the exercise, with the walking, with the activity, with the meditation, with the gratitude, the next is affirmations. Say something nice to yourself throughout the day, not just in the morning, not just in the evening, but throughout the day. Say, oh, I feel great today. oh man, my stomach feels good today because I ate something healthy and I just feel like I have a lot of energy today. Or, my neighbor, he took in my trash can for me. That was super nice. I just feel good. Just say something grateful. Be grateful and say some positive affirmations to yourself. Think of abundance, 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 because there is a lot of abundance in this world. And then, like I mentioned, the journaling, super important. But what I haven't gotten to yet is to actually allow yourself some breaks. Give yourself some breaks. So, a lot of people say, I'm so busy, I'm so busy, I'm so busy. I don't have time, I don't have time. But we all have time for what we really want to accomplish. Do you agree that we have time to do what we want to do, what we really want to accomplish? Do you agree that you have that time? Yes or no? Let me know. I totally agree that we do. And it's all about the choices that we make ourselves. But if you're always saying, I'm so busy, I don't have time, and you keep saying that, you're actually going to start believing that that is true, which it's not. It's not even about being busy, it's about being productive. You want to be productive, you don't want to be busy. And it's not always so much even about time, it is about your energy. It's about your energy, and it's about protecting your energy. And that's why we always say, surround yourself with positive people, people who bring out the best in you, people who are supportive, because you want to protect your own energy. And you want to move from focusing on the work and focusing on, all these achievements and stuff. You also want to move over to restoration. You want to be able to build in renewal, to really manage that energy. So work shouldn't be a marathon. It shouldn't be a race. It shouldn't be about cramming stuff in all day, every day. It should be about, what am I able to do? I can accomplish this much in a day. There's always going to be something else to do. So the next, I'm going to bring it over to the next day, because you can only do so much, and you want to put a stop. You want to put a stop, not just at the end of the day, how many hours you work in total, but you want to put a stop after every hour and a half to 2 hours. You want to give yourself a little break. A little break. And what's actually recommended is 15 minutes every couple of hours, is to take 15 minutes off. During those 15 minutes, get away from the technology, maybe fold some laundry, maybe go for a walk, maybe play with your dog. Do something that doesn't require you being on the technology the whole time, because breaks are super important. And I tell my clients this too, who are working out a lot, and they're working out every day, and some want to work out multiple times a day. I say, you got to give yourself a day off. You need to give yourself a break, because the body needs to recover. Just like our body recovers when we sleep, our body recovers when we take a break. And the more you take these little breaks, and during the break, maybe you have a little snack, maybe you have some water. You should drink the water all throughout the day. That is going to help you feel better. So disconnecting from the technology and just taking a break, you're going to be more physically energized. You're going to feel better. You're going to be more positive, and you're going to have more productivity for the rest of your day. Does this resonate with anyone? Please let me know. Hey, Elizabeth from Kansas. Kristen says, I'm guilty of choosing to do the other things instead. Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of us do, Kristen. It's hard because there's so many things always going on. There's a lot of distractions, a lot of people demanding our attention. But the more we can pace ourselves, give ourselves a break, and really balancing out the stress with the recovery. Even if you look at athletes, right? You think about athletes and how hard they are always training and working so hard. But they only do that for a specific amount of time. And then after that, they take a break from it all. So we all need that mental break, especially from the computer, from the iPad, from the cell or the smartphone, from the TV, from all of the electronic stuff. Maybe sit down and read something or just go for a quiet walk. Don't bring your phone with you. Some of my clients, they say, this weekend I just wanted to be without my phone because I check in with my clients a lot. And I said, that's totally fine. You should be able to take that break and not feel guilty about it. So a little bit about me, Linda Terjesen. My company's LTLTE. It stands for Learn to Love to Exercise. That's my little slogan. Is I work mainly with women, mainly middle-aged, but there are some younger ones that I help and there are some older ones that I help. But what I help with is improving overall health. And this includes managing the stress, sleeping better, practicing meditation and gratitude and affirmations, being kind to ourselves. And a lot of times my clients come to me because they have a weight loss goal. Not everyone. Some want to gain muscle. Some maybe just want to lose a few pounds. But it's really about learning to eat better, because the better you feed your body internally, the more it's going to reflect externally, the more energy you're going to have. And we all know with more energy, we are going to be more productive and we're going to get a lot more done in our business on a day-to-day basis. Yes, Kristen says she needs more realistic, attainable expectations. Love it, Kristen. So I have a link in the description to my free Facebook group. You're all welcome to join. And I provide daily tips, value, inspiration. I give out guides, and I'm actually sending out a guide today on self-care. So if you haven't received that guide from me and you would like it, let me know and I can send that to you. And feel free to join my Facebook group. And if you're looking for a holistic approach with your food, not living on medications, not buying a ton of supplements all the time, not eating a ton of protein, not living on keto, but you're looking for a holistic approach that is sustainable, then I recommend we have a phone call together, because that's what I do. I'm a holistic certified nutritionist, and I really work on educating my clients on real food. I look at your medications and supplements, and we try to reduce and eliminate what we can so that you can feel better just with real food. And I work with my clients very closely. I do a lot of private conversations, so you're not left to another person. You're not left to just an app. We are actually working hands-on together, you and I. And I, of course, have a community for my paid clients, and I have group calls with my clients, but there's a lot of one-on-one. And being a 52-and-a-half-year-old woman, I've obviously been in my 20s, 30s, 40s, and I can relate to those who are around my age. And I also have a super healthy mom who has a birthday this month, and I got her started in the gym 30 years ago, so I have worked with her a lot too. So I work with different age frames, but I would love to help you, love to have a chat. If you are interested, just let me know or get into my free group for some extra value, and let me know if you like my guide. So my time is up. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you all being here with me today. I would love to know if this was helpful and what you took away from it. And I hope to see you on my next live next week. So thank you very much for joining, and I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. Take care.